Happy Wednesday, everyone. We're halfway through the week.
We are, yes. It's been a good week so far. So much going on. The first week of April is full of so much fun. And obviously, that is just going to continue on Studio 10. Today, we are on our final day of the Moulin Rouge giveaway. You guys have been doing such a great job listening during the show for our buzzword/phrase. And once you do, all you have to do is just go to wlx.com/contest, and then you type in what the buzzword is and who said it. And it's really cool because you can win tickets to go see Moulin Rouge, the musical, on April 9th at 7:30, as well as a $50 gift card to Bobcat Bonnie's.
That sounds delicious. And how was Moulin Rouge? Because I saw on your Facebook page. I went to check it out.
So good. If you are a fan of musical theater, if you're a fan of the movie, you would love it. But it's a great love story, easy to follow love story. But then they use the music that we're used to, like a lot of the pop and the classic rock songs. But that's what tells the story.
That's cool.
If that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the songs are super familiar. And sometimes it felt like cheesy, because they would be, singing a song about, not being like rich, because they're down on their luck, they're bohemians or whatever, and they would start singing, "We'll never be royal," so it's just, it's funny, but it's like, if you listen to the lyrics, you're like, oh wait, no, that doesn't make sense, Yeah. So it's just a good one, so definitely go see it. It's going to be here until the 14th, so there's plenty of opportunities, and obviously if you win tickets, it's even better.
That's really cool. And the lyrical meaning behind everything, just how that shapes the story, that's really cool.
Definitely. So you'll definitely want to listen to the final buzzword today as well, and then we'll pick the winner tomorrow. My gosh, believe it or not. And then today is also National Walking Day. So we asked you on Facebook, of course, what's your favorites places to walk around here. We're so lucky to have so many different trails in mid-Michigan. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the benefits of walking and where we went for a walk this morning. So some fun there. Plus, MSU Science Festival is kicking off. Well, it kicked off on April 1st, and that's not a joke. But there's a great event happening at the Impression 5 Science Museum.
They have so much fun things happening over there.
Right, and they make great partners. So it worked out that the MSU facility of rare isotope beams, the FRIB, they do so much work for the world, creating good things. I'm not going to get into the science specifics. They can handle that. But it's really cool because they have a new exhibit in Impression 5 that really does, lack of a better word, dumb it down for all of us. And it's very interactive and a great way for kids to be exposed to careers in nuclear energy and nuclear science. So it's great. So there's a free event happening. Scientists will be there, and it's, like I just mentioned, it's free. So we dive into that event as well as the other events that you'll see throughout the month.
Well, that's great for kids. Hands-on activity, too, to learn about all of that. And like you said, they dumb it down. They bring it down a little bit. They make it easier to understand.
Yes, very hands-on and interactive, Like we made calcium 41, which is not something that exists. Calcium 40 does, but it's because, we're able to have these interactive hands-on activities. So, but we dive into that. Plus, there's a novel idea happening in downtown Lansing at Novel Concept, which is a local bookstore, and they are doing kind of fun kids box subscriptions.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so Claudia chatted with them, talking a little bit about the benefits of that and what kind of books you can get your hands on. But yeah, that's pretty much today. I'm going through our little bit of a rundown. Oh wait, oh my goodness, silly me, I forgot. Which one of the main ones, we're going behind the curtain of My Emperor's New Clothes.
Yes.
So Lansing Community College is putting that on, and the cast
looks like it has some humor in there.
Oh, for sure. Do you know the tale of the folk tale of Emperor's New Clothes?
I know Emperor's New Groove.
Right, a lot of people do. But the concept is that the emperor wants the best clothes ever.
Oh, yes.
Yes, and he's like, so these swindlers come and they're like, I have the best fabric for you. Can't you see it? Only the wise people can see this fabric. And the emperor's not going to be like, I'm not wise. I can't see the fabric. So he wears this fabric, but he's really wearing nothing. And everyone's too scared to say, hey, he's not wearing any clothes, because that would admit that they're not wise. You see the concept? Yeah.
That's some tomfoolery over
there. Yes, exactly.
Oh,
so we'll have the cast on, because the musical is a little bit different from the normal storytelling, but a good meaning behind it that maybe going with the flow isn't always the best way to go.
If you don't know something, just
say it. Just say it instead of parading around town naked like the emperor did. But anywho,
good for him. I'm not sure how to feel about it.
No, just tune into Studio 10. We'll dive into a little bit more, because the musical's a little bit different than that.
That's a big April Fool's joke, but that
that is a good prank. All right.
That's a mean prank.
That is actually a really mean one. That's kind of humiliating.
Yeah.
He's being a streaker without knowing it. Anywho, but you can always connect with us online. You still have time to answer our question about where's your favorite place to walk. It'll give us some good ideas, because hopefully Colton, who's going to be joining us, will share that it might get warmer later, a little later.
Yes, later.
Waiting for the confirmation.
Not today.
Not tomorrow.
Not tomorrow.
We'll share in a little bit.
But eventually, yes.
Eventually. Thank you, Nicole. You can catch Nicole and the rest of Studio 10 coming up 3 o'clock today. Again, here's our social media handles, as well as studio10@wilx.com is where you want to email for that last buzzword that they were talking about that can win you those tickets to see Moulin Rouge over at the Wharton Center. And you can see how they tricked the emperor into wearing nothing. There you go. That's pretty funny. But we have Colton standing by right next to me to say what you can expect on the forecast. It's been very April showery with a mix of showers. I know. I keep tripping on this cord over here.
It's okay.
I know.
Yeah, today's weather has been kind of one of those ones where you might see a little breaks in the clouds, a few peaks of the sun, then all of a sudden it's pouring down rain, and then back and forth. And we're going to see that continue throughout the rest of the day today, tomorrow. It won't be until the end of the week that we finally kind of dry out a bit. So we have some ways to go. I want to show you, though, a really zoomed out look, because it's kind of cool looking. Looking at satellite radar, remember the flow around a area of low pressure is counterclockwise, and that's exactly what we have. So the low is back here, roughly in the southern part of Lake Michigan, and so we have all of the flow that's been going on. And so far, what has been happening is this low has been to the west of us, is that we've actually been in what's called a dry slot. So that's where dry air will wrap its way into a storm system. But now that the low is beginning to move back off to the east, we are going to be getting into more of the moisture, and that's why you can see here in southwestern parts of Michigan, we do have some showers that are making their way through that have yet to really get too close to the Lansing area, but I think that will change here over the next few hours. And I'll zoom in here. I don't expect it to rain all afternoon long, but there will be some drops of rain, a few isolated showers from time to time, possibly mixing in with some snow as well. Of course, that's important. A lot of people are going to be heading downtown today for the Crosstown Showdown with the Lugnuts and MSU. I wish the forecast was better there for downtown Lansing later this afternoon, but it's also not terrible.
Right.
It's just going to be cold and could be rainy at times. Now, outside right now, you can see what I'm talking about on the US 127 Skycam, just seeing some of the breaks in the clouds. Every now and then you have seen that. It has not been sunny by any means today, but we have some of the clouds around. And in Jackson, same thing here. It's been really cool. I've been looking at the Jackson Skycam today, and every now and then you'll see one of those showers off in the distance, so you can see it get really dark. And this might be one right here. See it dark off in the distance where there has been a shower making its way through the area. Now, current conditions, we're only in the lower 40s. Again, that's about 10 degrees below average for this time of year. Average high is 52. So we're below that. And look at Coldwater, only at 39 degrees. You can see that some rain is being reported right now in Marshall, so it is widely scattered. We'll see more of it this afternoon and into the evening. As we head later on into the day today. Now, looking at the hour-by-hour forecast, What we do see is that as we move throughout the next couple of hours here, we'll see some more of those scattered rain and snow showers around. If you are going to be heading to Jackson Field tonight for the game, I think the weather should be okay, but it is going to be rather chilly, and you will see on and off rain throughout it. And then tonight, we'll actually see some of these scattered rain and snow showers continue, maybe falling in the form of mostly snow overnight as temperatures drop down into the 30s. And then heading throughout the day tomorrow, we'll see more of these scattered rain and snow showers as we make their way through mid-Michigan. But tomorrow should be the last day of this because the low will finally go east of us, and we will dry out completely as we head into Thursday night and into early parts of our Friday, and that will set the stage for a dry weekend that will be ahead, which is some welcome news. So I can show you the chance of precipitation moving forward here is that we have those rain chances in the forecast today, tomorrow, maybe some snow mixing in as well. Friday, I left in a very small chance of seeing a stray shower. I think for the most part, it should be a dry day. I know a lot of people are paying attention to the forecast for Friday because it is opening day for the Tigers over in Detroit. It looks like it's going to be a chilly game, but it's not going to be a repeat of the snow. What was that, last year, I think that was, or the year before?
It was freezing.
Yeah, when it was snowing on opening day there. I don't think that would be the case, but it is going to be chilly, but we should dry out as we head into the weekend. And looking at the 10-day temperature trend, here is your good news. If you're looking for some spring weather, there it is. So we do spend today, tomorrow, and Friday in the 40s, but then after that, we warm way up into the 50s for the weekend. And then, yeah, middle 60s possible on Tuesday. Some of our models have temperatures a bit warmer than that, but I kind of didn't go up too high just yet. We'll see what ends up happening. But 65 is what I'm calling for Tuesday. That is also the Lugnut's first official game.
Ooh.
Forecast looks great for that. And then we'll kind of stay in the 50s and 60s as we head throughout the rest of the week. So we will be warming up here. It may just take a few more days before we start to see that warm up. But do you want to talk about something else? What is happening on Monday?
Yes, I do. The solar eclipse.
Yes, I don't want to say it's the biggest thing that's going to happen this year, but it may very well be. It is the total solar eclipse that is happening, the coolest event that we will experience, I think.
We've been talking about it for months now.
I've had this date circled on a calendar for years because it's so exciting. It's such a big deal with this eclipse that's coming, and I wanted to show you the forecast for it. And what you see plotted on here, this is where the path of totality is. So that is where the moon is going to completely block the sun. This is the only area that it will go dark in when the eclipse happens. It's the coolest part of the eclipse by far, and it's not too far away from us. So if you did want to make the drive to either Ohio or Indiana, I do want to show you the forecast for that, as well as our forecast here too for the eclipse. And this is the European computer model, which is showing the forecast for 3 o'clock. Again, the eclipse peak is like 3:10-ish in the afternoon. The Euro has been pretty consistent in showing maybe some clearing skies, or clearer skies, I should say, through a good chunk of Indiana and Ohio, which, fingers crossed, let me tell you, fingers crossed for that. And then here locally, there's could be a few clouds around, but the timing of it all is going to be interesting because the clouds are forecast to move north, so how fast we clear out is going to have a big, implications on what we end up seeing for the afternoon. So there's a lot of things that we have to keep an eye on. Forecasting cloud cover is very difficult, especially when we're talking about a couple days out, because it all depends on how fast the system is and things like that. Now, a lot of our models have been suggesting that there's going to be an area of low pressure in the region on Monday, but a lot of them are beginning to shift it a little bit back further to the west, which would mean that we see more quiet weather and potentially more sunshine for the day on Monday. So it is going to be key in determining how much we see. Of course, here in mid-Michigan, where there is no path of totality, it's not going to go completely dark. You really then need to see clear skies to see anything, because you need those eclipse glasses to be able to look at the sun. And if it's blocked by the cloud, you won't see much.
No.
So we definitely need some clearing, but if your travel plans do take you down to the south, into Indiana and Ohio, things are moving in a better direction, but we're still several days out, so don't get too excited. I'm trying not to get too excited
I know.
just yet.
But if it is cloudy, Still, do not stare directly at the sun. You still want to make sure you have the glasses, eclipse glasses.
There is only one circumstance that you'll be able to look at the sun, and that is only if you are in the path of totality, which is nowhere in mid-Michigan. So none of us can look directly at the sun during the eclipse without eclipse glasses. Sunglasses won't cut it. You cannot use sunglasses. You need the eclipse glasses. That's why you should get them if you see them for sale or you see them for free. Get them now. But if you are in the path of totality where it's going to go dark, when the sun is completely blocked by the moon, you can actually look directly at the sun, which obviously doesn't happen very often. You can never look directly at the sun, but you will be able to do so then. That's because obviously the sun will be blocked. You'll just see the outer edge of the sun.
It looks so cool.
So cool. And I know many of us are planning on making a trip. You know, I'll be down somewhere in the path of totality.
I will be in Ohio. The day is off for me. The whole day is dedicated to
100%.
this.
I said I am not coming to work that day.
Well, you've been planning it for years.
Oh yeah, and I knew obviously I knew this was coming, but like there was nothing that was going to prevent me from going. So I will definitely be somewhere in the path of totality. I'll have to live stream it on my Facebook page or something.
Maybe I'll see you driving on the road and I'll follow you.
Yeah. I personally, what I'm thinking right now, where I want to go for the eclipse, because my plans have been kind of fluid the whole time, just because I want to see where the forecast and where the clouds are going to be.
That's really smart. You got to be flexible with it.
Right now, I'm targeting Indiana.
Oh, I will not
think.
see you then.
No. So, you know, straight down 69, I-69, and see where the clear skies will be at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I am beyond excited for this.
Can't even get the words out. He's so excited.
It's just because the next one is not until like 2044 or 2045.
That's all the way in Oregon.
Right. It's not even for here.
Here is 2099.
Yeah, so the closest one we'll see until 2099. But the 2099 one, if we're all around, it actually does go through Michigan.
You know, as much hope as I have for all of us and the advancements in modern medicine and technology, I just...
Yeah, it's a long ways out.
Go see this one to ensure that you see one, okay? Who knows what'll happen down the road. Don't wait on this.
Yeah, it's going to be the coolest thing. I know a lot of people are probably going to make the drive. Be careful. There's going to be a lot of traffic out on the roadways, especially those north-south roads leading up to the eclipse and thereafter. So be careful traveling, of course, if you are going to be doing so. But I highly recommend it. Even the difference between 99% coverage and 100% is enormous, because at 99% it's still not going to go dark. It doesn't matter. Getting to the path of totality, if you can, is key. But if you can't, you can still see ways to see the eclipse. You can use the glasses, or you can use some of those DIY boxes that you can make to view the eclipse as well. So there are ways to do it if you are staying local.
Yeah, even the shadows, or I know there's been some concerns using your phone. So I know usually when you try to take a picture with your phone of the sun, can damage your lens. So just be careful, do some research, and do a lot of research, and make sure you are sticking with accurate, legitimate facts.
Yeah, and the time you can get filters for your phone to take pictures of it if you want to. But the time to order these things or find them are running out. We're less than a week out from this. I'm assuming that the demand for glasses and all that stuff is going to only increase from here.
Yeah.
I was at Meyer yesterday in Okemos, and I saw the eclipse glasses still for sale. So if you find them, get them.
Okay, my mom was actually asking me. She's like, do you and your brothers have them? I was like, I got it for me and brothers. I was like, what about you and dad? And she's like, oh. And I was like, oh, I should have gotten some for you guys too. Let me go back to Meyer.
Yeah.
Only $2, but some gas stations are free.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I saw them at Speedway. Everywhere seems to have them. And I know that some local libraries and things like that have been handing them out for free as well. Yeah. But even if you do have to pay, they were, $1.99, I think, for them. So I've had mine for a while. So make sure you buy yours too today.
Yes. Very exciting stuff. We're looking forward to it. And we'll check back in with you.
I will show this every day this week of the cloud cover
ready.
forecast because I just
gotta be prepared. You're tracking it, so might as well share it. There you go.
I am very closely watching this forecast.
Well, keep me posted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
We'll see you at 3 o'clock, Colton.
No, Justin will be in for.
Oh yes,
4.
I always forget Wednesdays.
Yeah, he'll be on Studio 10 and First at 4 with you guys, talking about the forecast. And then Andy is also in, and he will be doing the 90 minutes of news.
There we go. Well, you have fun continuously tracking the cloud coverage.
Yes.
Hopefully the clear coverage for
Get those
Monday,
clouds outta
April
here.
8th.
Yeah.
Get them out of here. They can come back on Tuesday. You can have all the clouds Tuesday, but Monday, kick them all out.
I know, and specifically at 3:10.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we will see you tomorrow then. You will see Justin Bradford at 3 o'clock. And then coming up, First at 4 after that. But here's the First Alert Weather app for any of those updates.
And by the way, the First Alert Weather app will have abilities to, if you travel to Ohio or Indiana or anywhere else to see the eclipse, you can get the forecast using our app no matter where you are going. So please download it today. It is free in the Google Play and App Store.
Perfect. Thank you, Colton. I do want to give you a live look over downtown Lansing right now and showing you more of that cloud cover that is in the sky. This is a live look over LCC, if I can find the right little button there. There we go, Lansing. Yeah, so just taking a live look over there. As Colton mentioned, you're going to be expecting those spotty rain showers today, and with all of those clouds, they will be carrying the moisture with them. So keep that umbrella on you. If you are heading to the Crosstown Showdown tonight with the Lansing Lugnuts and Michigan State University, make sure you're bringing a rain poncho, anything to keep you warm, a rain jacket, maybe some of those waterproof cargo pants or something like that, and then an umbrella. Anything to keep you safe and dry and feeling comfortable during that game. Also, though, make sure you're checking with the restrictions with the Lansing Lugnuts and Jackson Field, making sure that you can bring in some of those items to make sure you're staying dry and warm. Otherwise, keep an eye on the forecast. And again, Justin Bradford will have more coming up Studio 10 at 3 o'clock in just under 40 minutes, followed by First at 4. And Andy Provenzano will have your forecast coming up during our 90 minutes of news. But standing next to me, because it's been cold outside and he's been braving the elements, is Mars Anderson.
Yes. How are you, Taylor?
I am good. How are you, Mars?
I'm good. Working, and yeah, out in that weather today. Talking about housing. Once again, I feel like I've been like the housing guru over the past several weeks. So, more housing. Yeah.
More housing. What is happening with this housing, especially tying it into all of the weather that we're having right now? Well, maybe not so much tying it in with the weather, but you know, it's cold outside. You want to get people into warm homes.
Yeah, so I guess not the best day, we'll say that, not the best day to hold an outside event talking about housing, but always a great announcement to talk about the fact that they are going to rehab. So this is UM Health Sparrow. I want to get that name right because it's new.
That went into effect on April 1st, just that whole expanded name.
Okay, so
you got it. You got it.
I'm not wrong for not having it together just yet, but Health Sparrow, and then also they're partnering with the land bank here, and also they're partnering with Habitat for Humanity. So what they're going to do is they're going to give them, I want to say, there's a 9 houses and I think 2 lots, and they're giving the land bank some, and they're giving Habitat for Humanity some. So what they're going to do is they're going to rehab these homes, and they're going to give homeowners who I guess go through their organizations the opportunity to buy these homes so they can be owner occupied. I guess this is the area near Michigan Avenue, the Michigan Avenue corridor, and so this kind of strip of, I want to say it might be Jefferson Street or Avenue, is just vacant houses just left to right. So they want to bring some life back into this community. That's what their community organization was wanting. They were going to go in a demolition route, but they're like, hey, no, rehab is better. And I guess what you see, we just talked about, or I just did the story earlier this week, talking about a housing program that was going to come in and provide assistance with people wanting to rehab their homes. And then also we know that Jackson also has a rehabilitation program. So I think it's that effort. Of course, they say that Michigan is in that housing crisis. It's a national issue, but these are those different ways that they're kind of taking care of these things, and so it's just another great effort. And I think it's important to, you know, kind of take care of what you have rather than putting up new things. And they said that there really isn't enough room to put up new houses and apartment complexes and things like that, so they might as well improve the housing stock, and that's what they're doing. So
work with the skills and resources that they have.
Absolutely, and I guess with the land bank, they're going to also hire local contractors to come in. So it's like this full circle thing going on of being able to get these homeowners in new homes and using these smaller local nonprofit organizations to do that instead of this overarching Health Sparrow taking their hands taking their hands off these homes and putting them in the right hands of those who can really work to improve them. Then I think it's also just cheaper to go out and just rehab a home compared to building a new one. And that's what I kind of think about when you think about this whole talk of, what is it, City Hall? And them trying to get a new place, just rehab, save some money. So that way it can go towards maybe building some new houses or rehabbing even more houses. That was a big piece they spoke on as well.
Yeah, no, they're looking to be more cost effective with everything. And like Mars was mentioning, instead of just knocking it down and then what do you do with the land, they're revamping it so that you can bring more people here. And
Yes.
speaking on that housing crisis too, that'll really help in many different
And it's faster,
areas.
because you think about it, is to say we already have the homes, they're already on lots. They just need a little bit of work. So you bring it together, you get people in here quickly, and then you are, I guess, being cost effective. So you can say, hey, we can put our eyes on these other initiatives. And I guess we have about 7,500 homes in the Lansing area that we need. So starting with those blighted and those vacant homes and kind of building them back up is a great start.
That's definitely a great start. Well, you have a lot of information on this
Yes.
story.
Housing expert.
Housing expert. There we go, Mars Anderson. Anything else you'd like to add?
Well, just make sure, of course, I'll always say this, watch the 90. You can catch me, Mars Anderson, in News 10 and 6. But yes, watch that 90 and just, housing is just so important. I think it's a national issue. I think it is a public health issue because people do need homes. So, it's a great story and it's a great thing that they're doing. And they're actually giving these deeds, they have to have some type of a transaction. So their deeds are being given for only $1 as well. So it's just like, it's a very touching thing. I think it's a very great thing that they're doing.
Yeah, and just lifting up the city. There you go.
Absolutely. Lansing is a great place to be, so.
Yes, it is. It's our home. Well, there you go. The whole mid-Michigan is our home.
Yes.
All right. We'll see you. You said News 10
News
at?
10 at 6.
News 10 at 6. All right, Mars. We will
Thank
see you
you.
then. And he speaks on housing. And so coming up on Mid-Michigan Matters during First at 4 today, we're talking more housing. That's right. And so tying a little bit into Mars' story with housing, we're talking about a different program. Lansing Mayor Andy Shore recently announcing his fiscal year recommendations to the City Council for next year. But within that, he laid out the recommendations for this facade project. And like Mars was saying, how they're improving in the city the different homes that are vacant and revamping those. Mayor Andy Shore has just announced how much funding will go towards this facade project. And so businesses all across the city of Lansing, they want to make sure it's not just going toward Old Town, Rio Town, and downtown Lansing. They want to hit on every corner of the city, making sure that these businesses can build up their business, whether that be the outside, so the exterior, the interior, and just making sure they're renovating and improving their businesses. And hey, then you can bring in more people, improve the city, the whole domino effect. That's coming up First at 4 today. Coming up, News 10 at 5. Oh boy, I don't like this one. Listen up, Spotify users. The music streaming service has plans for a price hike, just like everything else, Justin.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, I'm not happy about this, and neither will your wallet. We'll have how much more users can expect to pay. Coming up, News 10 at 5. You probably want to throw on a little rage song right now before you go listen to that story. Plus, enjoy it while you can. Plus, it is that time of the year where those who love to fish need to renew their fishing license. So coming up, News 10 at 5:30. Justin shaking his head. Do you have to do that?
Yeah, every year. Gotta do it every year.
Oh, well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
I don't fish, so you'll be the fishing expert. But renewing your fishing license. So coming up, News 10 at 5:30, we share how the Department of Natural Resources wants anglers to get licenses paid for, which will last a whole year until March 31st of 2025. Like Justin Kent was just saying, a whole year. So you got to renew it every year. Yep. Then coming up, News 10 at 6, the Lansing Fire Department is investigating how a local business erupted in flames overnight. We had that coming up, News 10 at 6. We did touch on part of that, News 10 today at 11. And it looks like also coming up, News 10 at 6, we have plans to improve speed limits. So we'll be talking more about what that entails coming up, News 10 at 6. I do have Justin Kent standing by next to me, and he's going to share what he has coming up.
Yeah, coming up at 6 o'clock, I'm going to be diving into this story. It's a crazy story out of Calhoun County. In January, there was a hunter out there with a guide, believe it or not, and they were hunting coyote, and he shot and killed what he thought was an extremely large coyote, 84 pounds. Turns out it's a gray wolf from the Upper Peninsula. That's where they usually live, and it's not uncommon that they travel super long distances. However, it's super uncommon for them to be this far south in the Lower Peninsula. I talked to Michigan DNR. They talked about, you know, just the rare occasion. I mean, they've been out of this area for over 100 years, and they've never had one this far south. So this is the first time that's happened. A little bit of hot water maybe for the hunter as well, because, you know, you're responsible for that, you know, before you pull the trigger, knowing what's in front of you. And this is an endangered species. It's federally protected, so there's some stuff with that also. But I'll have more on that story coming up for you guys in our 6 o'clock show. So,
all right. Any talks too on the concerns of the wolf? Obviously, you said it's concerning how low they are, but not just for the wolf population, which you want to make sure their numbers are okay and their lives are okay, but also the lives of the people in the Lower Peninsula.
Yeah. Well, wolves, you know, just like any animal can be dangerous. They're not particularly dangerous to people if you respect the distance. You know, they usually don't like people, which is why we don't see them in any of our heavily populated areas. You see them up in the Upper Peninsula in Canada, places of that nature, just because they're so far out. They don't really mix well with humans. So
which we are appreciative for in some ways. Yes.
And they did say there's no expectation that there's any additional wolves in the area. They believe it was a lone, isolated incident. And they said one of the examples they used was a wolf they had collared in the Upper Peninsula that made it all the way to Missouri and crossed the Mississippi River. Isn't that crazy to think? Like, they just travel, did they hop in a car? I don't know. So it's pretty wild.
That wolf was on a mission.
That wolf was really getting that out of there. He's tired of the cold.
Going to Missouri. I think it's colder over there.
Hey, yeah.
Oh, well, that's funny. Okay, News 10 at 6?
News 10 at 6, yep.
All right, very interesting story. So tune in then, and you will see more from Justin Kemp. I'm trying to find your name so I can take it off. Oh, there we go. All right, well, very interesting story. We'll have more, again, coming up during our time here. But as we transition, I'll give a live look outside because we are seeing some of those clouds change as opposed to about 10 minutes ago when I was showing you a look outside. So again, a live look over downtown Lansing right now at the state capitol, and you're also seeing more of the clearing up in the sky as well. We weren't seeing as much blue, and I'm not saying there's a lot of blue at all because that's still a very minor amount in the sky. More of the clouds, of course. So just make sure you're staying up to date with the forecast to keep an eye on those showers.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, when I was on my drive back to the station, there was pockets where it was sunny and there was no rain, and then all of a sudden there'd be like 30 seconds of rain, and then there would be no rain, and then there would be 5 seconds of rain, and it was like I was driving through all the little tiny storm clouds. But that was kind of funny. I don't know, it's just reminding them of the spotty clouds out there. Yeah. I mean, it was not a big deal at all. It wasn't like heavy rain or anything, but it was just kind of funny because I feel like I'm used to it raining and then it's just being consistent for a long period of time. But it was like stop, go, stop, go. It was kind of funny. But today, I was driving back to the station from Fowlerville. I was out there today at visiting Torch 180. They're a cafe and restaurant, and they actually train and employ people with disabilities. It was really, really cool. I got to speak with some of the students, got to speak with the founder, but essentially, you know, what they do is students can come in, learn how to be a server, a barista, a cash register, or cashier. Sorry, not be the cash register. Oh my goodness, be a cashier.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I don't think anybody can be a cash register. Anyways, be cooks, cleaning, dishwashers, all different kinds of jobs. And they actually have their biggest fundraiser of the year coming up. It's their gala. Kind of a fun fact. I'm going to be, well, not serving. I'm going to be attending the gala as a local celebrity sous chef.
All right.
So kind of fun. It'll be kind of fun. But their gala is coming up. You can buy tickets. They're fundraising for the restaurant and the cafe. But what they'll be doing is like this big fancy like black tie event. You know, gowns, everything like that. The students get their chef hats on. They present all the meals to the attendees. It's a really a fine dining experience from what I understand. I haven't been before. This will be my first time serving as a sous chef. But yeah, it was a really cool business, and everybody there was in very good spirits, very happy to be there. And
it's cool with the gala that it's not just everyone's celebrating and they're having I don't want to say random, but more unrelated chefs serving them when they themselves are the chefs, and you get to taste firsthand their food and experience that. That is so cool.
Yeah, they get to really display their skills to everybody, present the food, like I said, cook it up. There's also some other fun things they're doing. They have like a raffle, a fun money casino that they're doing to raise money. But yeah, it's really cool event, a really cool thing that they're doing out there. So if you'd like to learn more about Torch 180, the work that they do, how they came to be, what their fundraiser this upcoming spring will look like, tune in, News 10 at 5:30.
All right, sounds good. And like you said, Erin, it's not just they're getting these jobs, but they're learning the skills.
Yes, and the goal is that not for them to stay at Torch 180, but for them to go on and be employed at whatever business suits their fancy or fits in with them. Like I had spoken with a student, or they actually did employ him. He's a full-time server there now.
Right.
He was so much fun. He had worked at Kroger for 10 years, but he didn't really get that customer service aspect that he really liked. And so when Torch 180 opened up, he was like, I'm coming to this place. And he was just a lot of fun. Because before he was kind of behind the scenes, and even speaking with the founder, she said she had talked with a lot of people with disabilities, and they couldn't really hold on to a job, but they also couldn't figure out why. It was just a really frustrating scenario for a lot of people. And
Torch
so
180 seems more personable too.
Yes, and they would just help them work on their soft skills. So like communication skills, customer service, just the little things that people like me and you might not think about in our day-to-day lives. But with a little bit of training and a little bit of education, it's totally reasonable for people with disabilities to be doing those same things.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was very cool. But like I said, News 10, 5:30.
All right, sounds good, Erin, and we'll tune in News 10 at 5:30 to see you, and we'll have Deanna Giles joining up here in just a little bit. And with that said, let me get up our 90 minutes of news again so you can see that real quick. I know we had Mars and Erin, but we will get Riley. We'll get Riley. I know I said Deanna, but hey, Riley's here too, so might as well get her on the desk. But this is what you can expect, again, coming up during our 90 minutes of news. And you can learn more about Torch 180, Erin Bowling's story, coming up News 10 at 5:30. That's such a wholesome thing happening, and it's not even just one thing happening, it's continuous effort in our community, which is so great to share and pass on. So again, make sure to tune in News 10 at 5:30 for Erin's story. But we do have Riley Connell standing by. Hello.
I jumped in a little last minute.
Hey, that's okay.
I didn't know if I would make it, but
You're busy.
We're here and we made it. That's right. I just came in the door from another interview, actually with the City Rescue Mission, which is who our story is about today. City Rescue Mission is expanding to open up another location where they're going to offer some services for homeless folks in the Lansing community. So you might have seen City Rescue Mission. They have a building on Michigan Avenue with a kitchen. They have another building over here on South Cedar, a little bit further down the road, kind of heading into downtown. So they're expanding again to another location on West Kalamazoo in downtown Lansing. So it's going to be a shelter for women and men, then the Cedar location is just going to be a women and children's shelter once they open up this third location for solo men and women. So really kind of just spreading themselves out so that they have more room to meet the needs of people in the community. So they're just kind of shifting everything around, opening up that Cedar Street location for just women and children. So they have, their own kind of shelter that is just a women and children's, center with a closet and some food, and then opening this space up in Kalamazoo just to expand their services, add a few floors of office buildings too for their staff. So a pretty big move up for them.
Yeah, and expanding that space, like you said, to give them more space to have people, but even just for the homeless who are looking for a place to stay, it gives them the space to just spend a night, have a bed, have a warm meal, have a shower.
Absolutely. Yeah. And there's going to be a cafeteria as well on one of the middle floors in there. So kind of a shared, meal space that people can go to. It'll have a catering kitchen, so none of the food is going to be cooked there. It's going to be cooked at their kitchen elsewhere and then brought in for people to share their meals there. So we have some pictures that I'm going to be showing later that are renderings of what the spaces are going to look like. But we did get a tour of the building as it is right now, which is an old office building on Kalamazoo. So it doesn't quite look like what the finished product is going to be, but just kind of walking through and getting, you know, a little bit of the vision from the folks there who were saying, yeah, this is what this layout is going to look like.
Could you envision it as you were in there? As they were saying, you know, hey, this will be designated for this space, where you're like, oh, I can see that.
I did knock down a couple of walls in my mind, but you know, it's separated into kind of some cubicle spaces too, some individual office spaces, but we did walk around and they pointed out to me too, you know, this wall is not going to be here, like this is really going to be totally transformed, but they're really excited about it. And we did talk to some other organizations in the area who also work with you know, homeless folks on a day-to-day basis, kind of weighing in with their own perspective of if we're going to open up another location serving this community, what are some of those things that need to be taken into consideration and things that they would like to see a fellow organization take a focus on, and then we'll hopefully also have a little bit of input from Mayor Andy Shore, who is going to be coming down pretty soon for your show. So we're going to be stealing him away a little bit just before to talk to him.
He's a busy guy.
He's a very busy guy, and he's spending a little chunk of time at News 10 today, I guess. So I was able to corral him for something really quick, you know, to add in a little bit of his perspective onto this
we'll
too.
make better use of his time so we can double team
Exactly, and that tends to happen a lot over here.
Efficiency.
We're kind of yeah. We'll make calls to somebody all day, and we'll find out, oh, they're coming in anyways. So it makes it nice. You can two birds, one stone. So we're going to hear a little bit about just from a city perspective how this is going to impact the community, and you know what kind of effect it's going to have to see an organization expanding and growing. So it'll be great. News 10 at 5:30.
Sounds good. We'll see you then, Riley. News 10 at 5:30, and you do. BW is saying hi to us. Hello, BW. Erin, BW says hello. Oh, she's editing her story right now.
Headphones on, but we will tell her.
Hello to you.
And hello. Thank you very much for watching.
There we go. And News 10 at 5:30, we'll see you.
Yes, most definitely.
Sounds good. All right. Well, with everything, and if you are feeling the impacts going on in the community, we have our You're Not Alone mental health series. So make sure you go scan that QR code if you are looking for resources, or even if it's not for you, if it's for someone else that you know and love, or maybe someone that you've seen in passing that looks like they're going through it. Maybe they're not their usual selves. They're going through this funky time. You're not sure what. It could be anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts, stress, addiction. Maybe it has anything to do with gambling. We've also touched on stories with that too. Maybe you're a student athlete and you feel like you've lost a part of your identity. Or maybe you're not a student athlete. Maybe you're someone who's been involved with something for a long period of time. It has become a part of who you are, and now you are missing that piece, and it feels like you've lost a part of yourself. Know that you're not alone. There are community members, there are mental health care professionals who have seen this stuff before with other people and who can relate to you and your own journey and be able to help you out through this time with the different resources and their own experience, and just helping to better guide you with your mental well-being. So make sure to check out our You're Not Alone mental health series. We will have stories on Studio 10, first at 4 during Mid-Michigan Matters. We have different members, whether it's reporters or anchors, also doing stories, more one-on-one with these community members to better share their story. So again, you can go share your story by going to those resources right there on your screen. We do have Deanna Giles standing next to me right now, who's going to share what she has coming up during our 90 minutes of news. Hello, Deanna.
Hello, Taylor. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah?
I'm good. It's been a good day.
It has been a good day. We just need these clouds out of here.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. But speaking of good days, I'm working on a story about HPV vaccines and kind of the importance of getting HPC vaccines, or HPV vaccines, excuse me. So, we always talk about healthcare and healthcare equity. And so MSU is doing a thing where they are now providing free HPV vaccines to all students, whether you have insurance or not. So that basically extends that to everyone so that if there's like financial barriers or any other type of barrier that may be in the way, at least for financial reasons, that is now removed. So that is an option that they are now providing. And so I'll be talking more about just, what is HPV, how do you prevent it, how to stay safe.
Have they seen an increase in it?
They didn't say whether or not they've seen an increase, but they did say that they do give a lot of HPV vaccines on campus, though.
Okay.
So it is something that they frequently do give out.
Okay. Well, it's great that they're expanding that access availability by dropping the fees, because really that thing that, especially when it comes to healthcare, that you worry about is the insurance. How much am I going to have to pay
Exactly.
out of pocket to ensure your own health, to ensure everyone else's health? Yeah.
Yep, and then those extra fees, I'm blanking on the name.
The junk fees or the hidden fees, those.
Yes, the co-pays, all of that. Yep. So I mean, it's
the co-pays or the
Exactly.
deductibles and
that's
all
the
of
word,
the added
deductible.
money.
I was like blanking on the word. But yes, it really just depends on, I mean, insurances generally do cover the vaccines, but I mean, it just depends on how much. And then if you have that high deductible at the front end, you're probably like, okay, maybe I don't need it, or maybe I can't get it. So.
All right. Well, we will hear more on that.
Yes, and I'll have that story on at 6 o'clock tonight.
All right. Thank you, Deanna. News 10 at 6. We'll hear from her one more time. I will pull up. Where's your name on here? There we go. 1 second. One more time. Let me pull up what we have coming up during our 90. Oh my God. Oh my God. Wait.
right.
Everyone
Just
pause.
I'll be on real fast. This is Isabella. Hi.
Mom plus dad's work of heart.
This is the baby.
Here, wait, let me hold the microphone for you.
Yes.
What would you like to say?
Oh, this is the
blocking
newest
her.
addition to the Kent family. This is Isabella. And do you want to hold her? Ready? There you go. She's so cute.
Oh, and she smells like a baby. She's got that baby smell. Hi.
All right, we just wanted to interrupt real fast for that.
I'm never letting her go. This is breaking news.
Yeah. Aw.
Okay, I don't want to disturb her.
No
Please.
worries,
Thank
no
you so
worries.
much. You beautiful,
Yes,
beautiful.
thanks.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's how we're gonna end it today, because that's great. I hope more joy comes into your day today. That just brightened my day. I'm gonna hop off so I can go do that. Okay, well, have a great day, everyone. Tune in more to News 10. I know, beautiful BW, she is a beautiful baby. I'm distracted. We will see you guys Studio 10 at 3 in 13 minutes. That's coming up. This has been so long, I'm sorry. And then followed by First at 4 and our 90 minutes of news. Have a great Wednesday.